I'm seeing stuff. Oh my god. Ah!
Fifth member was strikes already.
Alright, so before we'd even begun, the fifth member was knifing us in the guts. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the #1 Tyranid shit show on the internet. I thought we had gone live, but apparently we hadn't gone live because I changed a setting and YouTube all of a sudden wanted me to push a fancy button to make this happen. So I pressed the fancy button, and now we're happening. And it's good to see you, and I can tell you that we're coming to you live from Rick Priestley's attic this week. Why are we up in Rick Priestley's attic? Rick's having a lot of people over right now. The house is pretty full. So we're up here in the attic. That's why Hydra's video is so dark. We don't get a lot of light up here. But more on that later. More on that later. So yeah, welcome. How's everyone doing?
Good. Hooray! We're
Hooray!
still alive.
Blazingly funny.
What's that?
There's a war in Europe. How couldn't we be happy?
We gotta live our lives too.
And you are taking the full hit in Berlin.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's what I
Don't
hear.
know.
Well, Marco, thanks for all your work saving actual refugees.
Yes,
That's
thank
good
you.
stuff. Also, I'm very excited to see what you have on your table there.
Ooh.
That looks like a certain Tyranid Prime.
It certainly does.
Ooh.
And I just noticed to my great anger that one of the tips of the tentacles broke off, which is not fun at all.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
Yeah, they're fragile. Sorry.
Yes, they certainly are.
Just to give it like a rundown for everyone who's joining us, we have kind of a structure for this week's episode. That being said, I know Marco has like a kind of not a hard stop, but he has a stop. He's got to quit at some point. I also have a hard stop because I'm having a romantic dinner with Nora, so I need to call it at 6:15 my time, which is what does that translate to you guys?
Late.
An hour and 45 minutes from now? Is that what we're talking?
11:15 in the UK, so I'll give you an 11 o'clock warning.
Okay, great. And midnight 15 in Germany.
I think so.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is, as Marco has finished painting the Gunbeast, which is an amazing collaboration that I was happy to do with him, we're going to start off talking about the Gunbeast, as that's done, and answering any questions people might have about it. And then we're going to transition to talking about the new Parasite of Mortrex model that Games Workshop showed us this week. And then if we have time at the end, we're going to get to something Flynn dug up this week. Flynn, was it you, or was it Box, or was it Grim? Who was it?
Me. I've known about this for ages. I just thought I'd share it there.
All right. Well, Flynn is if we get time, we want to go to the final segment, which is titled Games Workshop Doesn't Know How to Build Tyranids. So look forward to that. There's going to be a lot of Tyranid content. We're not like there's going to be some bullshit too, because we're always about the bullshit, but there's going to be some Tyranid content. Including some Hive Mind content, but we'll get into that in a bit. So, for now, let's start with the Gunbeast. Marco, as you just finished painting the Gunbeast, tell me how you're feeling.
So sorry, I wasn't even able to grab a beer right now. So I'm feeling like thirsty and.
Okay, go get a beer. Wait, I'll get my beer. I'll get my German tea out.
Give me a second, please.
Okay. Well, Simon, how's your week been? Wait, Simon, question.
Yes.
I have a I don't have my video up. I have an Edinger Weissbier Dunkel. Do I have to roll this one?
Yes.
Oh, I see the thing at the bottom.
But gently, very gently.
So roll it, don't shake it?
No. Just gently roll it.
I think it's gonna explode on me.
Probably.
Because I can see there's like a Oh, I don't have a glass, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I have a beer, the bottle, which is fine for me.
Okay, great.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, Hive brothers and sisters, gentle creatures, monsters from outer space. Thanks for being there.
All right, now can you talk to me about the Gunbeast now that you've wet your whistle?
I think I can. Thanks. Yeah, as always, I'm glad that I wasn't able to judge how long the paint job would take me, because otherwise I wouldn't have started probably. But having been out of training for a couple of years to just paint something, I'm very happy that I managed to get it to a state where I'm happy with it, because I was
Yeah.
feeling the pressure. With the amazing conversion you did and all the amazing stuff, I wasn't totally relaxed to just let's paint something, but I knew it had to be good,
Mhm.
and I'm fine with it now. It's good. I'm happy.
Apparently,
Good.
this is the way to go with you. So if you want to get something painted really well, you have to build it really well. Because I think you did an amazing job on this.
Thank you so much. I read your comment and it really made me blush.
No, I mean it, because I've seen your work and I always have admired your work, but like this is like I feel like you've have taken a step forward, like a mile,
Thank you.
and it's hard to believe that you haven't painted anything for such a long time.
I was really hyped to get it done. Well, good, because I was so much in love with the conversion, and in a way, it was me returning to Tyranids, because of course I painted a couple of things like 5 or 6 years ago, but with the long hiatus I took, I hadn't approached any real Tyranid project for a long time,
Yeah.
and I didn't have any intermediate steps like paint a god or something, or like just train with a little model. I was like, okay, this is the first one I do, and it's got to be good. And I think that helped me to do it with a
Wow.
proper.
That's daunting, man. I think I would go for an intermediate step.
Yeah, but no, it was fine for
Well,
me, because normally I'm a pretty impatient person
Yeah.
in real life. I'm, I mean, these days long, we are all used to getting instant gratification, and we're not used to being patient. And for some reason, I managed to just get my head in the right place when I started painting the Gunbeast, because I knew I had to paint every single section in itself, and I had to be happy with the section, like the shields and the fleshy parts, and the legs, and the head, and the carapace and stuff. And I was able to get me into a place where I was just painting one section at a time.
Mhm.
Um, one lesson I learned a long time ago was is to just approach a project which is so deep and so elaborate. Not to think too much about what is the sensible approach. Like, I need to paint this first because it makes technical sense. But just sometimes to approach it with just what kind of motivation you have for each part.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
what I did was I painted almost all the parts the way I was motivated to do,
Yeah.
because I know that when I do it like this, my motivation flows much easier than when I think I have to do this first to be allowed to do this next. And this
Oh,
way, I just
interesting. Yeah, because didn't you start painting the head like first or something? No,
second,
you.
I painted the gun shields first, just to get into the, because I was really keen to try on the flesh structure and the carapace first,
Yeah.
because I thought I had an idea how to do it, and the head was second, because I learned that the head is the most important step. And when you look into the head and it's good, you feel the model,
Yeah.
and it's
yeah.
much easier to do the rest.
Interesting. That's a good tip.
Yeah, it's not what game structure will tell you, because technically it doesn't always make sense.
Yeah.
But even with other models, I always tend to paint the face and the head first, because it gets me motivated. It makes it much easier for me to look at the face and say, okay, it's alive now. I have to do the rest.
See,
And
that's so
yeah,
different to how I paint miniatures.
How do you
interesting.
do it, Simon?
I pretty much approach it the way as Marco does, like just paint whatever I'm feeling. But
Yeah.
I always tend to go from rough to precise.
Mm-hmm.
So first, lots of dry brushing and layers and washes and more dry brushing and more washes and more dry brushing.
Yeah,
Um, and then at some point I start leaving, like, not very intentionally but more intuitively. I'm leaving the dry brushing step and start to highlight things. And most of the time, the face is the last thing I paint, because that's, to me, that's the one that is that needs the most attention and is the finest detail.
Yeah.
And therefore, like, the everything before is like training for the face.
Okay.
Funny.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna check because some people put some questions in the chat, because Captain Timboli's here, and Captain Timboli said, "What? No homework? Disappointing." So I asked them what they want to know about the Gunbeast.
I always hated homework since I was a kid.
I know I've sent you homework before, and you never want to do it.
Yeah.
So Symbio Joe says, Marco, maybe you can handle this one. I think Symbio Joe is asking the Gunbeast directly, so maybe you can ask the Gunbeast for its response.
Oh yeah, I can. Of course I can.
What was God thinking when he made you so goddamn thick, so scrumdiddlyumptious? What was he thinking when he said, "I'm gonna make this one a real pound cake"?
Whoa. Thank you so much, Senior Joe.
Is that for you? Oh, maybe that's a question for me because I built him thick. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's talk about big balls now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Joe can tell us who that's a question for. But when I was building the Gunbeast, I like thick Tyranids. I like big bugs, and I cannot lie. What can I say? So I always make them thick. I always make them armored. Wait, I got a thing
always did. Like
Yeah.
since 20 years ago.
Damn right. So here's a shot of the greens of the Gunbeast, just to see where it came from. I got a lot of pictures in this post. Hold on, let me get to the good shit. There's a lot of like construction, la-di-da. Okay, all right. So yeah, like made him thick even from the beginning. I like big Tyranids. I like armored Tyranids. So making big armored Tyranids with giant guns on them is just right up my alley. I don't know how much more I can really say. Basing it on the Tyrannofex kit.
May I stop you there?
Yeah, go for it.
Because it sounds like you make it sound so natural and so obvious.
Yeah.
And I don't think that any of your creation is like big, like it has lots of volume to it, but it's not fat.
Yep.
And I think
Okay.
there's a difference to that. Because it still is like elegant, and it still is thin in its way. But it's not, it has its volumes, like those front feet with those shields. They create lots of space, which is taken up by the model.
Well,
Yeah.
I would even go so far as to say, yes, Nick, you've always been very fond of making thick, powerful creatures, but the body shapes you came up with were always very unique and very different, actually. Because when I look at the Gunbeast now, this one, it's totally different from the Dominatrix that did it for me. Because one is really flowing and elegant, lizard-like. This one is not. It's like really curved and blocky and different.
It's a closed shape, I would say.
Yes, well said.
And that works so well for its purpose.
A closed shape, you mean? A closed shape, you said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like
yeah.
a circle. So when you had this view with from the side, where you see the silhouette.
Yep.
And you look at it, when you look at it clockwise, you start like at the top, and where we would usually expect the head, and you don't, the artist doesn't give us a head. It gives us like those back spines. And then you go clockwise, and the way you curve, like the way the back of the creature curves round, the eye follows that line. And then like this very picture exactly there. Like you start at the top, you have this gribbly thing going on there where one would expect the head, and then you go the back spine, and then the eye follows the whole thing like clockwise. and you don't give any direction, but you don't. Well, you give in direction because you kind of end up looking at the very top of it again, because it basically is a circle looking from the side.
You're
Hmm.
so right.
Okay, I
And
didn't give any thought to
that's
any of
what I
that.
meant with. Sorry.
I mean, I'm glad to have an art teacher evaluating these things, because you're right, but I feel like part of that was influenced by the starter kit, because the Tyrannifex has that natural curve, and I
Yeah.
didn't mess with that much, like the central spine and the tail.
Well, but you changed the whole thing so dramatically, because when you look exactly at this very picture you're showing right now, like
Oh, sorry.
one would expect, if you look at the human, you have like no the one from the side, like the very silhouette. Yeah, like you look at no.
You're delayed. The silhouette. Okay, I have a silhouette up now, I think.
Yeah, you look at the 12, and there's nothing there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you follow up, like you follow the hours around, and you will always end up with the 12, and there's still nothing there. Yeah,
Okay, so it's like what's the word? It's something expectations, defies expectations, or subverts expectations.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I like chunky nids, but like you said, I didn't want to make him fat, because that wouldn't be Tyranid, but still make him like armored, beefy. When you talked about it being like closed, it made me think of the angles on the spine shields, or like the front shields, because
yeah,
I didn't want them to be like so closed that you can't see the rest of the model, like the head and the body and how it's working. But I wanted there to be
yeah,
like a suggestion that they are like performing a purpose. They, like, those are some big chunky shields that are going to get in the way of anyone trying to come at it.
yeah.
Yeah, and then with the curve of the body, one, I didn't love that with a Tyrannifex or a Turvagon, it's got this kind of like C curve to the body, but the
Yeah.
like open part of the C is facing the ground,
Yep.
and then you have to like
Yep.
awkwardly like curve the head back. Like if you look at a Tyrannifex torso, it makes not a lot of sense, because it's like a Carnifex torso, but then you have to have this like extra curve up at the end, because it's positioned in such a way that it's like facing the ground. So it needs that like flip up at the end to be able to have the head pointing forward. So yeah, just by
Yep.
like rocking the curve of the Tyrannifex back, so that instead of those chimneys being at the 12 position, they're at like the 9 o'clock position or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it opens up it that does a lot of the work for us. In terms of modifying the body shape. But yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry, I don't know where I'm going with that anymore. Okay, next question. Apparently Symbio Joe
It's a
said he
great.
was satisfied.
Let's agree to it's an awesome composition, and
Thanks, Simon.
every creature creator can learn something from it,
Absolutely.
because at its very core, you have described the purpose of the thing in its shape.
You're an art teacher. You are. You
He
certainly
is.
are.
That's
Well,
good.
I have to say, the biggest compliment I can give is, after all those decades of painting Tyranids and doing stuff, I really felt the pleasure to get it done properly. And I don't consider myself a painter, because I definitely prefer modeling stuff. But in this case, I knew I wanted and needed to get it right, which is not something I would feel on the average model, because I think this is outstanding and special and one of a kind. After all, it's art, isn't it?
Thanks, buddy. Yeah. You say you're not a painter. You're definitely a painter. I know you've like, I think that this shows that you're a painter, as do your army of golden demons, but I get what you mean, that like it might not be the most rewarding thing versus like kit bashing sculpting, like
Exactly.
exploring concepts. Yeah. James Milner says, I want to see some stats for it. Marco, what if you had to field this in a game, what would you field it as?
Well, truth be told, I just got a sneak peek at the new gun stats for the new Tyrannifex.
Yeah.
And I'm totally happy to see it hunting Space Marine tanks and making boom.
Oh, so you're going to use it as a Tyrannifex, not as an Exocrine?
The fun thing about the model is I can use it as both, because
True.
it just looks to be both of the kind. So I can think about what I wanted.
Yeah. Did we lose? Simon, can you say something? I think we might have lost Marco.
Yes. Can you
Yeah,
hear
Marco's
me?
frozen. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll come back. While we're waiting for him to come back, I'll see what other questions we have. What was the thinking behind giving it this kind of tongue? Why did you choose to build the base in that way instead of using a larger one? Okay. Also, why the excessive amount of vents on its back? Okay. So the tongue, what I wanted to do with the head was to give it like many different kinds of sensory organs. So that's why like the head opens up and you can like see brains in there, and you can see like eyeballs, and you can see here. I'm gonna see if I can get a better shot of it. When the head opens up, you can see like brains and eyeballs, and like there's like scent pits inside the head, because I just wanted to like take the idea of Tyranid. I don't know if this is making anyone sick. The idea of Tyranid enhanced senses to like a new level. That when you have we have the enhanced senses head on the Tyranid Carnifex, and it's just like a bunch of eyeballs and some antennas. So when you look, like when I did this head, I wanted to show the like eyes in there, and there's like pits that could be like nostrils or scent pits, and then like there's the exposed brain, because I don't know, maybe it's like sensing electronics or something. And I put some addition, like I kind of sculpted a weird nose onto the front of the thing. You can't really see it there. I don't know if I have a better angle on the head. Oh, there's another angle on the head. Yeah, so that's, and with the tongue, I thought that that was one further sensory organ. I played with the idea of making the tongue like have this weird thing that like expanded on the end of it, as if it was like scenting or sniffing with its tongue as well.
Nick.
Oh, you're back.
Sorry, I'm back. My power cord got loose.
Oh no.
But yeah, I was wondering why you used the acid tongue on the Gunbeast.
So I don't know. I don't know if it was a good call, but I wanted it to be like, I wanted it to look like this thing had like exaggerated senses. So it has like exaggerated sense of sight because it's got all those eyeballs. It's got exaggerated sense of smell because it's got like the nose on the front, and then like the scent pits and all that. And then maybe it's got like, it's not taste, it's not going to go up and lick its victim, but maybe it's like scenting the air with its tongue. I don't know if some kind of animals do that. Yeah, so just kind of like exaggerate its senses. And I thought about converting the end of the tongue into like kind of a satellite dish, but I thought that might be a little much.
I think it's good that you did not.
Thanks.
Because it would have derailed it a bit.
All the reptiles sniff the air to sniff stuff.
Oh, with their tongue, right? They do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go. That's why I did it.
Of course you
Actually, I have seen the Hydra sniff the air with its very long tongue.
Oh, I was laughing so much a couple of days ago because I thought it's certainly a fanboy thing about Simon's tongue that he did this.
Yeah, so that was why I chose the tongue. And then he also said, why did you build the base in that way? Okay, hot tip. I think I've shared this on a previous stream. But anytime I make a base like this, it's because I fucked up the pose. And I can't get all the legs to sit on the ground at the same time. So I just fucked it up. And in terms of like why I didn't use a larger base, I think I didn't have a larger base.
What?
I don't know. And he like kind of fits on this, so I just like put the Mickey Mouse ears to make the base a little bigger.
But honestly, I like this kind of stuff because with my Warhorn Titan that Simon did so marvelously, and my Reaver Titan that I'm just about to finish in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I was never happy about Titans having no base.
Yeah.
But I was also never happy about Titans having like a huge base which looks stupid and silly. And in the end, I just tried different solutions and decided to just cut the base to roughly fit the shape of the model, which looks to me aesthetically much more pleasing.
Yeah.
And it's rarely done like this. Not many people do it. So I thought the Gunbeast solution was good.
Are you okay with that? You're not wishing it was on a larger? I guess you would have just put it on larger base if you.
It's much nicer like this because the base flows after the shape of the model, And if there was a huge circle just along the whole model to just sit on a huge circle, there's a step and there's a point at which it gets too big, like with the
Yeah.
Titans.
Yeah.
Many of the Hierophants you see on huge bases don't look too great, and especially after they are on a gaming table, they look like shit.
Yeah.
And
they bring their own table.
absolutely. And if you give each of the feet a single base, it looks even more like shit, I think.
Oh,
And
I've seen that.
There's been the X solution, where X goes between the legs, but most of the solutions just look wrong to me. And after all those years, I think flowing along the shape of the model is the most pleasing thing you can do, and you did it like this.
Cool. Yeah. Honestly, part of the reason I did it was that I initially wanted to fit it on the base that black base. But I think that when I was trying to position the arms and the shields, I wanted to have them in closer. But I realized that the angle of the actual arm holding the shield would get awkward. It would be really bad. And like they would basically like come down out of the thing's chest and then like quickly go up to get into the shields, and it would close it in too much. So when I found a position that I liked, I was just like, well, I guess this is how it's going to be, and then I had to build a base to accommodate it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then Captain Timboli asked about the excessive use of vents. When Simon was talking about the kind of angles of the creature, the other thing that I thought about, I did this a bit on my my Tyranid Warrior Gunbeast with the Venom Cannon, but the vents, I know they're supposed to be toxic miasma, but whenever you have like a big Tyranid Gunbeast, I really want the vents to like be a exhaust vent for the gun. That when the gun fires, some kind of like biological process or something happens, and there's so much like there's the force that's used to expel the projectile. But if you picture like a bazooka, right? Or like a what are they called? The things Saint Javelin from Ukraine or whatever, like javelin missiles and stuff like that. You can't fire those. Those things don't fire like a normal like gun. They have this huge gout of flame that spews at the back when they fire their like massive projectile because they're firing a rocket. So I pictured something like that, and I like that idea on Gunbeasts. I've done it on my the Gunbeast that I did for Kill Team with the like he's got the Death Spitter on his shoulder. And then the big Venom Cannon Gunbeast, I like to change the angle of the vents and have them in line with the gun, with the idea that they could like expel exhaust when the gun fired.
I like
also, big chunky creatures, like this thing's manufacturing its own ammunition. It's probably got a lot of waste heat, and that's how I tend to think of the vents, as like a waste heat like distribution system.
Nice.
It also
Marco,
could kind of
go ahead.
Wield off like heat searching missiles. I know that's not a thing in 40k, but maybe could be like using the heat as a countermeasure at the same time.
Yeah, to like shield it.
Yeah,
like throw them off.
Good.
Like if you look at the thermal reader, it would be just one massive point of heat with no exact.
So you can't target the head because it's just this massive heat throwing off the thermal imaging. That's a good point. I like that. One further note on the vents, I would have happily snapped them all off because one part of the story is that I bought the Tyrannifex that I based this kit on eBay, I think it was, and I'm like, wow, that's super cheap. That's really cheap for a plastic Tyrannifex. And this is one of my first times getting like a China cast model, and I didn't realize that it was a recast resin model. So that was part of the reason that I made this model, was that I wanted to like reclaim this shitty resin model that I got in this eBay sale. And but when I was trying to assemble it and trying to make the beast, the resin is so shit that the back vents kept snapping off. So I literally had to go in and pin every single one of those vents so that I knew that it wouldn't snap off. And so many times I wanted to just like, I broke a couple and I was like, this is bullshit. And then I just pinned the rest.
Okay.
Also, you have really quality resin when you drill into it and it stinks.
Yeah.
Like unset. So anyway, yeah. So that's why this model like has like a weird coloring, because I thought I was buying a plastic Tyrannifex. I got a resin Tyran effects, and part of the reason I did this was to kind of reclaim that bullshit model. Okay, what else we got? Thence. Bits of Box says that the raw, fleshy gun barrel opening on this thing makes him sick. Marco?
Good, good.
A
thank
lot
you.
of people have said that. And me too.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, gross.
Those colors are the worst.
I've still got some detail shots coming up.
How
on
did
my-
you know what? I don't know that I need more detail on the end of that barrel. I think you need to send those detail shots to a doctor because something is definitely wrong.
If
But
Tom does that, I'm totally happy with the result. Thanks, Tom.
Would you nonetheless share with what you've used for that?
Well, yeah, but it's truth be told.
You don't remember. You were
Okay,
drunk.
honestly, I was trying to get all the fleshy tones pretty similar, and I fucked it up. And in the end, it was a lucky accident. Yeah, because in the beginning, I started with a reddish flesh color.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I wanted to get more purple all the time.
Yeah.
Because it looked more cooler and more interesting to me. And I just mixed up like usual skin colors I would use with red and purple inks, and came up with a couple of steps which looked like more skin-like and less skin-like. And I think the finishing touch, which probably makes for the gross effect, is something I did on one of our creature conference talks on Friday evening.
Yeah.
Where I was pretty drunk, and it was good that I was pretty drunk because I said, I think this is going to be look great, and just God do it. Where I would normally think, no, it's too risky, don't do this. You might fuck it up. And I was pretty sure that having this bloody mucus collecting on the bottom due to gravity and the firing effect would look really gross. And I did this for the first time, and I knew immediately, okay, this is the way.
Wait, what red did you use? Tamiya Clear Red again? Or?
Yes, of course, just some Tamiya Clear Red with some Agrax Earth shade. I think some Lamia medium to just thin it down a bit and do a couple of coats, and it was just easy like that. But because of the subtle effect I did on the skin, like going slightly to purple and into the gun itself, it just was exactly what was needed to make it really gross and believable.
It was it's definitely gross. Like, I think I posted this on Reddit as well, and people were like, that gun barrel is not good. Someone needs to see a doctor. So I think that's I was talking about bringing the horror back to Tyranids, Marco. I think you did it.
Thank you so much. So awesome to hear that.
Certainly. So a question from Peter Hampson. How would you have modeled it armed with an acid spray or flesh borer hive?
That's fair, Nick.
Well, that's a good question. With an acid spray. Sorry, what was that?
For someone else to answer.
I feel like if I was doing an acid spray, I would want to build it more into the creature's mouth rather than having it like mounted up on the back.
Yeah.
And in terms of like when I think of a flesh borer hive, instead of having like the one central cannon, I think of more kind of like two kind of more devourer looking things mounted on the shoulders, like left side, right side. Yeah, because I feel like this design with the gun, like you can slap a flesh borer hive up there, you can slap an acid spray up there, but I feel like with the gun mounted that high, it looks more artillery like to me, as if it's like firing at range.
Absolutely.
And then when I think of a flesh borer hive, I picture that being slightly more closer range. And then when I picture the acid spray, I picture that being like totally like just what's immediately in front of it. And for some reason, the height on the model. How would you do it, Marco, if you were switching it up and you had to design an acid spray or a flesh borer hive for it?
Yes, insane. Just as said, acid spray looks good on the mouth.
Yeah. Simon?
I think acid spray is probably the most difficult to make believably good. Because why on earth would you, have like, of course you would have tanks or sacks filled with gas or acid or whatever, but why on earth would you put it on top of the model for the next bolt gun to shoot at?
Yeah, good point.
And yeah, that's what I've always been wondering with those what are those called? Pyrovores?
Yep.
They're kind of a good solution, but like when a guardsman is carrying a flamer, he's at least carrying the tanks on his back. So
Yeah.
if he takes a bullet to the head, he doesn't explode immediately.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, just my
Nice.
2 cents here.
All right. I think that was all the questions. Does anybody else? Wait, is my chat updated? I don't know. I think so. If anyone else has any other Gunbeast related questions, just let us know in the chat. What's going on here? It's locked.
Well,
yeah,
we could talk about the eyes and the head, because
Oh,
I know
yeah.
they were pretty controversial on my feed, at least.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Really? You got a lot of like guff about the eyes?
Yes, of course I did. Because just like you, a couple of people said it's not alien enough, and it's right. Of course, it's not alien enough. But
Okay. I'm gonna get a close
for
up.
me,
Hold on. Let me get a close up picture from one of your previous posts. There we go. Here's a good look at the eyes. So you did the eyes on the like the more Tyranid, the standard Carnifex part of the head as green, and then for the eyes in the those fold out bits. God, what do I even call them? You did pupils. So what made you decide that? Because I know I was controversial, or I felt that was controversial as well when we talked about it. I was like, no, they're too human, can't do it.
absolutely, that's what quite a few people said on my feed,
Yeah.
and I can totally understand why, because I felt the same, but I didn't have a great idea which looked good. I tried it first with the green glowing eyes as well, and it was kind of okay because I knew it was green glowing and it's alien, but I had an epiphany, like, try a pupil with an eyelid, an upper and lower eyelid, because I thought this would really look gross and horror-like and like really unsettling. And when I painted it like that, it was just I just thought, I was like, okay. When I think about it, this might not be the most fitting solution, but it just looks like so gross and unsettling and horror-like that I just had to do it.
Yeah, it definitely looks creepy. That's for sure.
And I think I have to say that I think it looks fitting.
Okay.
Because it gives I was having a hard time with that as well.
Yeah.
In the beginning. But that's basically because we are so used to like have eyes on chaos spawns.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I think when you leave that, like when you leave the thought of it looks similar to, and think more of the purpose, like having a pupil gives an eye and direction.
Yeah.
And especially it's as it is not just a function, it's always well, I might get a little bit out theoretically here again, but you're communicating with that piece. So you
Yeah, absolutely.
decided to give the regular eyes like the standard non-pupil thing, and decided like to give the eyes those inside the head eyes like pupils, and this makes them differentiate from the organism itself. Like it looks like
Absolutely.
it's an add-on piece, like something additional. And if you showed us
Nice.
you showed us those pictures where you had those eyes blank, and they could have been marbles or
Yep.
I don't know, sacks with fluids or
Yep.
anything
Yes.
else. And this
That's a very good point.
this instantly shows its purpose, and this is where I think the communication comes into play, where you want the onlooker to see the purpose of those, rounded shapes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
point.
When you said that, Simon, I didn't think about that because when you see an eye above a mouth and underneath a brow, and like even like when you look at the Tyranid eyes there, the multi eyes from the Carnifex, they're in a place where you expect an eye. But what the hell are those things that open up on the sides? And like I know they're eyes because I'm like, oh, those are eyes. But like someone just looking at them, they're like, okay, well, it's got 3 eyes there above its teeth, and then it's got these things that open up, and it's got these weird glowing balls on them. You're very right that there's not the normal like facial architecture there to orient what those things are, so the pupil immediately orients it. There you go, Marco. You're smarter than all of us.
Thank you. Did you guys notice that I also snuck in an eye on one of the ammo sacks?
Oh,
Take a closer look, because there was a shape which there were actually a couple of shapes where I thought I can't leave them bland, and on
I
two of
see
them,
one.
yes, on 2 of them I just hit some veins because it made the shapes more interesting and made them just more believable.
Oh, I see the veins on them. Yep.
One of them just looked so much. It just called to me like said, "This has to be an eye."
Oh, that's so creepy.
Tissue.
Yeah, but you did that on previous models of yours, and that's something that I always admired, because it makes those weapons more appear like actual creatures.
Yep.
Not like this is I don't know, the extension of my arm and it just looks different, but this is something that it has been fused to me, or like fused to the organism,
and it's just more,
yeah,
it's just more alien and unsettling because you think about, oh, this might be an ammo sack, easy. No, why it's looking at me?
Yeah. Also,
even the ammo sack is looking at me.
Yes.
And you've also channeled some other brilliant creature creators. Box mentions that the human features on a non-human silhouette are a creepy alien like the Thing. And then Will K, Tactical D-Bag, has mentioned Pan's Labyrinth's Pale Man, who I know you're well acquainted with.
Absolutely, I've got ultra expensive bust of the Pale Man at my home, which I love to death.
But like, picture the Pale Man opening his hand and having that eye in there, but no pupil. Would you know it was an eye?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for the inspiration, Backballers.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Also, Jade Finch is here. Hello, Jade Finch. Welcome. Dwarfenage made it, which is good. I feel like the only other thing I want to really talk about here is the so I kind of fucked up on the tail. I feel like I should have done something differently with the tail. I wanted it to be the standard kind of like anchor thing, but
no,
it winds up looking like a weird bug penis that's like sticking out underneath with a big claw on the end of it, and I don't know.
Wait for my close-up picture I just took. Honestly,
I don't know if we need a close-up picture on the bug dong, but I'm glad it worked for you, and you did a beautiful job painting it. It looks really good, but I feel like that part I was kind of like, there needs to be an anchor here, but how am I going to do it? And I'm not sure that I really got it there.
But honestly, the way the tail just slides out of its sheath like a penis or something, like a bloody clawed penis.
Yeah,
was. This was one of the parts where I really didn't need to think about how to paint it because I was like, okay, this is really obvious how to make it gross and alien and slimy and yucky and.
I think your paint job just emphasized that, like what you were handed by Nick, you emphasized it.
Thanks.
And like, I've said this before in comments, but let me emphasize it right now, that I handed Marco a lot of bullshit. Like, those shields, I didn't know what the fuck was going on those shields. I just like, there's structures here, there's structures there, there's claws. There's this weird thing that might be a spore mine that detonates if people get too close. There's like different overlapping armor plates, and then the part inside with the ribs, like, you did a very good job organizing all the weird elements that I crammed in there, and honestly had no idea how I would paint if I had to. So thank you.
Thanks.
Yep. Yeah, I figured that that would be the hardest task because especially with those shields up front, I would not have a thought of a way to how to differentiate the bony parts and the fleshy parts and everything. That's really cool.
Thanks, I blame my upbringing because I still think, with the way that today's great painters paint their stuff, I'm still painting too tidy and too clean, and I would prefer to evolve something that is more natural and dirtier and grittier. But yeah, the way that I paint
Clean is
just
okay
makes
too. I paint pretty
yes.
clean. All right. Now the chat
Last
has.
thing-
Sorry, go ahead.
okay. Yeah, I think at some point I saw that you adopted some dots into the skin,
Yes.
and I think that's something like has shown up recently, like on painting Tyranids, and I really like that. It kind of adds a texture to an area that doesn't have that much texture
Yeah,
before.
thanks.
Yep.
I think that this is the way that I would love to be able to paint these days. Just make it quicker, more textured, more natural, more dirtier and grimier. Because the way that I used to paint is not the style I would like to see these days. But I'm
Yeah.
not really quite able to achieve it yet. But I think I will be one day.
You are getting there in big steps.
Thank you.
Yeah, certainly. Flynn, did you have you've been really quiet? Did you have anything that you wanted to get into on this topic, or?
Like with the whole bit of you're going to use it as an exocrine or a Tyrannofex, it doesn't even matter what gun you say. You can say the gun is whatever one you want it to be.
Yep.
To make it easier for that. That's really it. I am really just the eyes are disturbing as anything, and the red fleshy area is just someone has put it out. There's a lot of chafing. It looks like.
Oh, that is not fun. That is
No.
wow. And now you understand why the chat has descended into conversations about penises.
So you have to put up a sign?
Yeah.
Oh
drink.
yeah. Oh man, extreme Slanesh content.
I have to get some wine now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thanks for all the flowers, boys. It was a project of passion, and I certainly am really happy to finish something like this because it's been quite a few years to just plow through painting something. You know, just as you two, I enjoyed kit bashing modeling more than painting, but finishing it like this, with a kit bash like this, was really, really rewarding, and I can't wait to load up more of the detail pictures. And honestly, I can't wait to paint the Cruci Prime, which I have right now here on my hands.
Yes, man. I don't know. Can't wait for that either. That's gonna be cool. Oh,
yes.
Shit.
And in a way, the Gunbeast was a training thing for me to get the Cruci Prime done because
Nice.
after this, it's going to be the Reaver, and the Reaver has been like a 15 years now project with Simon and
that
you
much?
and all of us barging in. And
Oh god.
in a way, it's going to be the best thing I hope that we all have worked on for like a long time.
15
Awesome.
years.
I think so.
Are we that old yet?
Yes.
Yep.
Fuck it.
Dude, I was in Japan 11 years ago.
Crazy. Crazy
Yeah.
shit. And tomorrow I'm going to Poland for a week of vacation. And although the fucking Prime is falling apart right now because all the cables are so tiny, I'm gonna take it with me to paint it in Poland.
Oh. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. It's kind of delicate.
Yes, totally. Which is not going to be a problem in the end, but for traveling, it's going to be a problem.
Yep.
Well, I was wondering if you were able to go.
Yeah, because of the war and all that.
Funny thing is, I'm going to the Baltic Sea in Poland, and it's pretty much as far to the Poland-Ukraine border as I'm right now in Berlin. So it's not.
No, I was thinking of work.
Yeah,
Like, do you have to hang around for work? No.
No, I can take a week off
Good.
because all the projects we have a couple of projects right now to just be able to house Ukrainian refugees, but for a week, my other company director, my friend, can do it without me, so it's all going to be fine.
Good to know.
But yeah, we were lucky enough to have a couple of guys who own houses and are big investors in Berlin these days.
Yeah.
And one of our main investors, which surprised me a lot, just said fuck it and bought a house for the elderly, which is empty these days, which was just being closed,
Yeah.
and said fuck it, I don't care about my best investment right now because I want to do something good, and just bought it for the hell of it to house Ukrainian refugees, not to make money, but
That's
to just do
amazing.
something good.
Wow.
Totally, I was
Dude,
totally
man.
surprised.
That story about
Because-
the people in the subway station in Berlin with the signs, like that's huge news in Canada. Like
Really?
the Germans are looking real good on all this, but
Awesome.
Hooray.
Glad to hear it. Right now in Berlin, we have actually some newspaper articles talking about some creepy guys and creepy fellas just
that was what I was
trying to
worried
get-
about.
Yes, it's a thing here right now. But I was happy to see how fast the helpers reacted and said, no, we watch out for the creepy guys.
Good.
Not
What
to
kind of
pick up
creepy guys?
So they wouldn't let any
Yeah.
of us anywhere near that train station because we're such creepy guys.
Ooh.
Yes,
Ooh.
absolutely.
All right. So
Yeah.
though we're up in the attic, I feel like it's getting a bit noisy downstairs here in Rick Priestley's house. So maybe we should move on from the Gunbeast.
We should.
But if you hadn't seen the Gunbeast yet, or if you want to see more about it, definitely head over to Marco's profile on Instagram because he's got pictures of
yeah.
like the making of, and then as he said, he's got more photos that he's going to be uploading of the Gunbeast, more
Yes.
detailed shots.
Coming
so you
up
can go-
soon. I promise.
Check that out. There's like a 360 video that you can see on Marco's profile. And if you want to see more about the building of the Gunbeast, I have an article up on the Modern Synthesist blog. It was actually I posted it last year when Marco first received the Gunbeast, but it's got like it's got a lot of the build process in it. So if you're curious about how I did anything or like put certain things together, you can see it all in there. So yeah,
Let
definitely
me
go
add-
check that out.
Let me add in the end that this certainly was one of the best surprises in my life.
Oh,
Because
dude,
I
I was
totally-
so happy. I was so happy that I was able to surprise you with this. Yeah, so
Abs-
I guess we should mention that the
Yes.
Gunbeast started because in 2011, was it 2012? 2012, when the new Tyranids came out, the new Hive Tyrant came out, the Tyrannifex Turvagon came out in plastic, some other stuff. Marco bought them for me. And it was something like he
Yes.
bought me 2 Tyrannifexes and 2 Hive Tyrants, and the deal was that I was able to keep them, but one of the Tyrannifexes had to be made into a Gunbeast for Marco. It was like this kind of like low-key commission that we did. And that had sat on my back like a fucking monkey ever since. I'm like, damn it, I never made Marco that Gunbeast. I never made Marco that Gunbeast. So when I dug out this crappy-ass Tyrannifex that I thought was plastic and turned out to be shitty China cast, and I wanted to do something good with it. At first I just was doing it for myself. I'm like, I'm gonna make this into a fucking badass Gunbeast. But then when it really started coming together, I'm like, wait, maybe this could be Marco's Gunbeast. Because I know I owe him a Gunbeast.
I mean,
So,
we lost contact for like about 10 years or something.
Yeah, but I started on this after we got back in contact.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had some meetings in between when Simon was married for something, but I was
Yeah.
out of 40K like for 10 years. And
Yeah.
I totally, completely forgot about this. I had no
Well,
idea.
It's a good thing I kept score, because then and then it was like I was working on the Prime and you were so keen on the Prime. You're like, oh yeah, like I gotta get, like I want to get this Reaver done, gotta do this Prime thing. So I was like, okay, I gotta finish the Prime and I gotta finish the Gunbeast. I'm gonna put them together in a package. I'm gonna send them to Marco, and he's not gonna know that the Gunbeast is in this package. So yeah, I love surprises. So that was awesome. That was really good to be able to surprise you.
And I was following the build of your Gunbeast all the time. Like,
yeah, and I was asking
laboring
you
about it.
questions. I was like, hey, Marco, do you think that I should leave the gun barrels open, or should I put like little sphincters in there? And you're like, oh, definitely sphincters. And I was like,
You are going to paint them.
ah. But yeah, like I mentioned, I posted recently, I had my 900th post on Instagram, and I posted a picture of the Gunbeast that Marco had taken. And then I just kind of used it to catalog the other cool Tyranids that he and I have collaborated on. Because honestly, to this day, they're the coolest Tyranids I've ever made. Like that Dominatrix, and the fucking Dactylus that won't die. Like, people don't shut up about this Dactylus. Everyone's always coming to me about this Dactylus. Can you make me a Dactylus? Can I get a Dactylus? None of them ever like actually commissioned me to do it, but I think a lot of people want me to say, "Oh, don't worry, it's a conversion kit. I cast it, and you can have it for free." But yeah, that one is one's
you know
very
what?
popular. What?
I just took some new shots of the Dactylus because it just begged me to. I had
Nice.
this new lighting setup. The old shots were all kind of shitty.
Yeah, I want some
And
new ones.
of course,
That's
I had to
great.
take. Of course, I had to take a shot with the Gunbeasts beside each other. And then I thought,
Yes.
wow, Dactylus is kind of nice. And of course, I took the time to just do a couple of proper shots now from all sides now. And with the
Good.
new lighting setup, they're much nicer.
Good. And then of course there's the Exocrine, which I won my first ever Golden Demon statue in collaboration with Marco, where I built it and he painted it, and then he was like, I've got enough of these Golden Demons, why don't you take this one? And I was like, oh really? Okay, thanks. But yeah, so that was the first thing that we collaborated on, and he was generous enough to let me hold on to it as long as I made him a new Gunbeast, which was the Dactylus. So I'm happy to have this in my collection.
So fucking well deserved.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think you did a great job painting it, and I think that was back when the plastic Carnifex had just come out, and there weren't as many. I guess there was lots of conversions, but not like a ton. So,
but the idea to make it like a Biowar enlarged was totally new. I think,
oh yeah, this based on the sketch by, I used to think it was Roberto Cirillo, but I think I put it in here. I asked Roberto, I'm like, do you still have those sketches of the Biovores you did? He's like, I didn't do those. That was Paul Geacock.
Okay.
Who was an artist that I didn't even know about. I have the name in the post here. But he said that he was an artist who was working with Games Workshop very briefly. He kind of like whipped these out, and then he went on to do something else, and he like sold them all, like all his sketches immediately.
Crazy shit.
Yeah. So that's the story there.
But still, this was a Biowar sketch back in the day. And from today's perspective, it looks like totally natural and nothing surprising. But back then,
That was mind-blowing.
Yes, making a bigger Gunbeast on the same kind of concept, and to deslugify the old Epic Sale Gunbeast, the bigger ones, was like something new, and was pretty revealing, and not as easy as it looks from today's perspective.
Yeah, all we had was a Carnifex.
True.
Yes,
true.
Exactly. And in a way, you have to think outside of the box to think we might make it into one of the Epic Beasts. The Epic Beasts don't have to look like slugs. Right now, it looks like, of course, this is what we've done for the last 20 years. But back then, it wasn't like that. Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like you invented like the design. I think they kind of made a bad copy of your ideas. With the terrain effect. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so too.
Thanks, that's really kind. Oh, Dwarfenage is taken off. Sorry, Dwarfenage. Thanks for joining. And Peter Hampson says that the Exocrine was what made me go, I need to convert Tyranids into other cooler Tyranids, which is awesome. That's always great. Yeah. All right, so I think that concludes our conversation on the Gunbeast. Check it out on Marco's profile. Check it out on the Modern Synthesis blog if you want to see more. And maybe it's time to move on to talking about some new Tyranids for the first time in, what is it, Flynn? How many years?
Too many years. I've lost count now.
You've stopped counting?
Yes.
certainly a very long time. Let me fix some stuff here. So what we're gonna do now, I'm catching some signals from the hive mind here, and we're gonna try to patch into the actual hive mind and do something crazy that we've not done in the creature conference before. So get your I don't know. Hold on to your butts. Hold on to your butts, as they say. The fifth member may be about to take over the whole friggin' creature conference. Don't say I didn't warn you. So what we need to do, Marco and Simon and Flynn,
Yeah.
we need to go over to the other server. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, to the dark side.
So I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys over there in the voice chat on the other server. We've got a special voice chat for March 11th. Okay?
Yeah.
And hopefully it works. So I'm going to hang up this call and I'll see you over there. One sec. Bear with. Where the hell are we? How do I join this?
Good.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, we can have video if we want it. Hold on a sec.
Yes, you can have video. You have to set permissions for everyone else.
Oh shit! I have to set permissions.
Yeah.
How do I give Simon video? Okay, whatever.
I
We're gonna
don't
lose.
know.
We're not gonna do video for now. Is that okay, Simon? Do you care if you don't have video? Simon, are you even here?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you're here. Great. Okay, let's. Of course, I can't pull in the visual. Okay, well that solves that problem. I think your audio is coming through. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see your audio.
Yeah, and now you should see me.
Oh,
well.
I'm having issues with my. Okay, now I can see you. Great. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do something crazy. Is Marco here yet?
No.
Oh shit. Okay.
Flynn, maybe you tell him in the chat what to do, because it took me a sec to orientate myself, and he's not very into Discord.
Is there any way to like pull him in here? I don't think so.
I'm just sending a message.
Okay. So while we're waiting, so what we're gonna do now for everyone out there in YouTube land, we have dragged together a bunch of Tyranid nutcases who frequent this very creature conference. We've slapped them together in an ersatz collective. What's the word I'm looking for? Gestalt consciousness. Thank you. Gestalt consciousness using the wonders of the internet, and I'm sure that it's going to go horribly, horribly wrong. But we're going to try. So what we're going to do is we're going to give each person 2 minutes to tell us what they think of Games Workshop's Parasite of Mortrex reveal. Sound good?
Go for it.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah.
As we're waiting for Marco, and Simon, your time's still good, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
We're going to go in roughly alphabetical order, and we're going to start with Bits of Box. Bits of Box, are you out there? Are you receiving the synapse signal?
I certainly am.
Oh my god, I hear his voice.
Ooh.
Welcome, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just very tired now.
Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you for staying up. I will.
There's only 2 minutes.
I will. Well, I thought you need to go to bed.
Well, yeah, I can condense it to 2 minutes. That's fine.
Well, I thought that was going to be our thing. Okay, tell you what, I'll give you 3 minutes. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put 3 minutes on the clock. And, Box, I want you to tell me what you think about the Parasite of Mortrex. Go.
Okay. So I know a lot of people are very happy that we've been handed this, like, handful of breadcrumbs. But, like, when you look at it at a glance, or if you look at it on your phone screen or something small like that, it looks really cool. but when you look at it closely, I think it's a fucking mess. Like the thing that I really dislike is the jiggly leg tentacly things. Like there's no, especially when you look at it from the back, there's no sort of clear way they connect to its body, and they're like, it's like the lower leg is thicker than the upper leg, which just looks bizarre.
Yep.
I remember I remember when they were the back of the thing is really ugly. I remember when they were doing the rumor engine stuff, you saw the tips of the tentacles and things, and everyone was saying, "Oh, it can't be a nid because that, like, the design is wrong. That's not really what nids look like."
Yeah, I remember us having those conversations.
Yeah.
But then it is. Yeah, I think this to me it has the vibe of the 3rd edition metals that they got a different artist to sculpt them, and they just didn't seem to have a grasp of what Tyranids should look like. And yeah, I think this is a bit like that. They've given somebody free reign, and they've made a bit of a tit of it, to be honest.
Okay, so my next question for you: are you going to buy one?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of like
I don't really buy like one-off characters and stuff. They're too expensive.
But you don't see anything in this that you could use for your crab nids.
I'm not using any nid parts for my crab nids.
Oh right, okay. Because my second question was going to be like, if you buy it, are you going to convert it, or are you going to leave it as stock? So I guess we don't need to even ask that question.
I mean, if I got some bits cheap, the wings are pretty great. Like if I could find some wings.
Okay, so that'll be my question for you. What would you save? Like if you were bidding the stuff about this you don't like, what would you save?
Yeah, the wings. I still think it's a bit of a clumsy design, but the wings are the coolest part.
Cool. Okay. You basically
is that my 3 minutes?
You had that in 2 minutes, and then I asked you more questions.
Yeah, cool.
You're a very erudite guy.
Head crest is shit as well.
I like. Listen, okay, I'll get to my stuff later. Okay, head crest is shit. All right, well, you're welcome to go to bed now. You want any parting thoughts for us?
Hi.
Thank you so much for staying up.
No, I'll stay up and see what other people have got to say.
Okay, cool. All right, well, thanks for joining the voice chat. Okay, so let's Flynn, who should we get next? Pick someone at random. Oh, that's the 3 minutes.
That's 3. Okay. I'm gonna pick. I know Barkheis is next. I'm just trying to message him, but Symbio Joe, you able to jump in? Yep, Joe, jump in.
So anyone who's on the Hive Mind server, you want to go to the voice channels on the left-hand side, and you want to go to March 11th, Parasite. That's where you join this thing. There you go. Symbio Joe just came in. Wait, you said you need video? Are you saying that I need video for this?
No,
or are you just gonna...
Yes, that would be nice.
So we can get your face up there?
Yes.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Did you dress again?
Yes, I did.
Not gonna.
Okay, I've got the video up. What do you got for us? I've been promised great things.
Oh wait, I have to cut out the stream so I don't hear myself double.
There you
go. Is video allowed?
Just do it quick. You got 3 minutes, man. You're burning time.
Okay, so this all is a mess. I don't have video allowance. I see higher up there.
Oh,
so...
how do I do that? Okay. How do I give people video allowance? Do I click on your name? Oh, roles. How the hell? Flynn, did you give someone video allowance or?
I gave nobody a video allowance. I didn't because you set up the server. You.
There we go. I got him. He's in.
I just punched in. Good evening, everybody. I am live from the rooftops of this very wonderful city.
Story, wait, shit. I forgot I was supposed to do something. When everyone comes on, they're supposed to tell us what part of Rick Priestley's house they're in, because that's the reason we're up in the attic, because all you bastards are in here with us. So, Symbio Joe, what part of Rick Priestley's house are you coming to us from?
Well, I think I'm very close to the chimney right now. I residue where things with bat wings and man with bat wings are supposed to be right now.
You mean Box? Can you see Box? He's still awake.
He just turned into a bat and flew away because he says he has to go to his coffin and get a good night's sleep, which is important. So, please, everybody, calm down. I'm
Okay, who
burning
wants to follow
time.
Symbio Joe? Because certainly not me.
I'm burning time. Okay, so
I'm starting 3 minutes now. The bullshit ends.
yeah.
Time for peak German
Okay.
efficiency. What do you think?
I was on the streets. The Tyranid player base is very, very, very positive when it comes to the Parasite of Mortrex because it is a new model, of course. And we all want new models and we all need new models.
Yeah.
So a man in the streets was crying in joy and he was grabbing me and shaking me and he said, finally, wings that are not damaged on a Tyranid for such a long time. And okay, that was the voice of the unwashed masses. Now to the very more important thing, that is my opinion, of course. You all know I am a great fan of independent, special character models in Tyranids and bat wings on Tyranids, as they encapsulate the very individuality of the swarm and the hyper evolution that comes with it. So take it from there. I will keep the hat. I will throw away the body when it comes to conversions. So
Yeah.
if you're looking out for a Parasite of Mortrex body, give me a call. Back to you, Nick.
Wait, a couple of questions. So, okay, so you are going to buy it?
Yes, I will buy it.
How many?
I thought about 3 to give 2 away, but I'm bleeding money left and right due to, real events. So I will only buy 1, make a conversion, and, get rid of the body.
Okay.
That
That
sounds so wrong out of context.
Welcome to the mafia.
The decapitation shall begin.
Okay. Symbio, you get an award because you did it in 2 minutes. That was amazing.
Thank you very much. Also, I called the Parasite of Mortrex.
You called him? Thank you for calling him.
Okay, see you around.
See you around, buddy. Thanks a lot. Wow, that was spectacular. All right, who wants to follow that?
We've got Bargeist up next.
All right, I think Bargeist will do all right. Bargeist, are you there? Don't worry, you don't have to have video. Flynn, not Flynn. Symbio Joe's a bit nuts. Hello? Can you join the chat, Bargeist?
Join in. Oh,
can I add people to the chat?
no, I tried that. It's only to the thing. But I'm freezing myself. Okay.
Bargeist, if you're receiving, please join us in the part. There we go. I see something. I see a Bargeist. I see they're muted. He's muted. Hello? Hello?
Testing.
Oh my god, I hear you!
Excellent.
This is amazing. It's so good to have you on stream. I feel like you've been such a huge member of the stream for so long, and we have yet to hear your voice. So I'm fangirling a little bit.
Indeed, I'm afraid I sound very British, I've been told.
That's okay.
Awesome.
We're fine with that. Where...
We're used to that.
okay, so I'm going to... What the heck? Sorry, I've lost my thing. Oh, it's because I broke it. That's the problem. Let me unbreak it. Sorry, one sec. It's because we had the video from Symbio. It threw me off my game. All right, Bargeist, you have 3 minutes to tell us how you feel about the Parasite of Mortrex. You ready?
Ready?
Go.
Okay, my first real thought was that the return of the Parasite wasn't just of interest because it was a new model and we haven't had one for so long. It was that the model chosen was a Tyranid that emphasized the horror aspect of Tyranids rather than here's just a random sort of Duplo monster you can have. You know, Tyranid weapons are generally horrific, but in the most sort of prominent visual media, like the computer games and the art, you don't get this portrayal of the sheer dread that knowing what they do to people must inflict on someone who's been shot by one. She's sort of a flying, gnashing beetles, nerve-chewing worms, and strangling tendrils and the like. So the actual fact that we've got the parasite, it sort of personifies this visceral dread of infestation and the agony of being devoured whilst you're still alive. And I think those are important thematic elements of the Tyranids that you don't always get, and they don't always come through to people who aren't sort of basking in the background like it's a marinade, like all of us.
Like you?
So as far as the model goes, I think the sort of slightly scalloped skull plate is what struck me first when I saw the full model.
Yep.
So humans tend to look at faces, and the face of this thing obviously calls back to a xenomorph, but the fluted lines give it a sort of more armorial sort of Tyranid look, particularly with the elongated crest. The sort of fanged upper maxilla, I think is the best way to describe it, contrasts with the lack of a lower mandible, which makes for this slightly obscene looking mouth that I can imagine vomiting a sort of torrent of writhing ripper maggots over some unfortunate individual.
Nice.
And it's also sort of a fusion of like hagfish, insect and moray eel, and you can imagine the sort of soft flesh disgorging some sort of rasping pharyngeal proboscis rather than just being a hole in its mouth.
Yeah.
I think I like the arms because it puts the hybrid of arthropod and mammalian structure of the old plastic warrior limbs back into the modern design language for Tyranids.
Yes.
So you have 4 or even 5 limb components depending on how you define what is part of a limb. The more limb components you have, the easier it is to create this sort of creepy insect look.
Yeah.
Where it has too many thin barbed limbs that fold out and sort of grasp and impale something.
Yeah.
The claws form a more insectile sort of tarsus rather than a specific symbiotic element, which is a nice distinction for a more specialized creature, suggesting it isn't designed to be customized for multiple roles, so it doesn't have the conventional sort of big spike held by a fused fist look.
Yep.
But it could also be, as Box said, and they didn't curate the design quite as much, so they just made whatever they liked. But I like it, particularly, as I said, the sort of raptorial look of the claws.
Nice.
I think that's 2 minutes, but I
That's
also find
3.
some random appreciation of the little
Go ahead.
halter type structure on the midsection supporting the wings, because it sort of validates the idea I've gone with that Tyranids can have arthropod style body components that aren't married to a limb count. Halters being sort of an extension of carapace or gill structures from an evolutionary perspective.
Okay.
So insects are hexapods, but they're not. But they have all these things like wings and halters and maxilla and all sorts of fun things that aren't necessarily limbs. And I like to use that to make extra bits on my nids. So there we are.
Nice.
3 minutes.
Perfect. Oh, thank you so much, Bargus. We've got some reactions from the chat. Bits of Box said, I didn't know John Oliver was into Tyranids. Hive Fleet Horror said that Bargus is like the David Attenborough of mid description. I would have to agree with that.
And I think that he is not just a smith of bits, but he's also a smith of words.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should stay quiet forever now. Because it cannot get better than this.
It's always nice to have validation. I'm actually a complete bastard in real life, so on here everybody thinks I'm a nice person. So it's great to sort of change out from being the evil swine that I am in real life.
Yeah.
Also, Captain Tim Bully has asked, can we have Bargaste rant about Tyranid design more often? Yes, I subscribe to that channel.
Yes.
It'd be never ending, I'm afraid, but no,
That's fine.
it was very pleasant. Very pleasant to talk to you all.
Yeah, also, we would like you to come back and explain half those words to us.
Yes, please.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right, thank you so much, Bargaste. That was great. Oh, man. Damn, you guys are really bringing it. Go ahead, what? You guys are really bringing it. I did not expect quite this much, so. Okay, Flynn, who's next?
Up next to the sphincter door is Tactical D-Bag.
I keep forgetting to do the thing. Tactical D-Bag. Are you here? Can you hear us?
Yeah, hopefully my mic's going clear.
Welcome, man. Yeah, we can hear you. Wait, Bargaste, you're back. I want to ask you, Bargaste, what part of Rick Priestley's house are you coming from? He reappeared in the chat briefly. I don't know what's going on.
Who?
Oh, maybe my Discord is being weird.
No, we're
Yeah,
back on
team as
for me
well.
Bargaste, you still there?
No.
Okay.
No, we don't know.
All right, Tactical D-Bag. Tactical D-Bag. Start off, what part of Rick Priestley's house are you coming to us from?
His foyer. Yeah, foyer. We'll go with foyer.
Foyer, sounds good.
Okay, as the first apparently American that's joining in here, I feel kind of offended that I had to follow Bargaze there, because I don't think my accent's quite nearly as sonorous and fun to listen to.
Hey, maybe the Brits are loving it. You don't know.
Who knows?
Or the Germans don't mind.
So, I guess to dive into the,
The Parasite?
Parasite.
Yeah.
Initial look is like, ooh, sparkly new thing, right? And I think everyone kind of had the same feeling. I think for me, especially because, I know you guys have talked about it in the past about how you kind of like the more alien looking aspects, like looking less anthropomorphized with the eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
I think, this model is closer in that scope, that it's getting a little bit, especially with that the no eyes, like extra kind of carapace that's sort of borrowing a little Geiger-esque feature, right?
Yeah.
It's going that, and I forget who said it, but like, the extra kind of jointedness of the limbs, everything makes it a little less humanoid, which I think is what's like really kind of catchy and flashy about this. Not to mention the fact that this is the first model we've had in what, like 10 years.
Yeah.
But I think I'm kind of with Box here. Like, I think the more I look at it, the more I start criticizing it. Like, just looking at the face, like I like the idea of that non-conventional mouth, but at the same time, it kind of looks a little bit phoned in, and even that sort of like Geiger-esque like ace carapace. Maybe it's the paint job. I don't know. Like it just seems a little bit tacked on relative to the rest of the head crest.
Yep. Yep.
But overall, I rather like it. I think it's one of those things where, like, over time, I'm probably gonna start liking it less and less. Like, I think I had sort of the similar feel for the old original 3E Tyranid Tyrant Guard.
Mhm.
I love the hell out of him, and then now I'm just
Oh.
like, oh, they're kind of a little dopey. I like the idea, but at the same time, still kind of dopey. And I kind of feel like, this model's kind of going down that trajectory, but chances are, realistically speaking, I'm probably going to pick up a couple, and knowing me, I'm just going to try to do something to tweak it to something that I eventually like more.
Nice. That was my question. That are you going to buy it, and if so, how many? So, one?
Oh, probably at least two, just because I always like having one stock item, except for obviously, the Maliceptor and Toxicrene that I clearly have not been a fan of. But I like the general concept, but definitely going to be like kit bashing one of these things to see what I can do with it.
Nice. That was my other question. That are you going to kit bash it? So that's good to know.
But
I like the someone's got their YouTube on. Okay. Wait, did Will drop off? Oh no, he's still here.
Still here.
Yeah.
Okay. I was mostly. Oh, that's 3 minutes. Good. Mostly wondering if you're going to buy it and if you're going to kit bash it. So it sounds like, yep, maybe one or two. Definitely going to kit bash. Awesome.
Yep,
Okay.
Probably
Thank
expect something on my Insta posts.
Look forward to it. Yeah, if anyone isn't following Will, he's tactical D-Bag on Instagram. Bargaste is Hive Fleet Bargaste on Instagram. Symbio Joe is Symbio Joe on Instagram. And Bits of Box is Bits of Box. And Bargaste was coming to us from Rick Priestley's Oubliette, which is a fantastic choice. I like that. Okay, next, I think we should do Marco next, because I know Marco has an early morning tomorrow. Marco, are you here? Can you hear us?
I have no idea. Tell me.
Yes.
Marco, what do you
Yes.
think? This is your 3 minutes, buddy. What do you think of the Parasite of Mortrex? Hit us.
I'm gonna make it short. I'm gonna make it easy. I'm a fan. Well, fuck it. It's not a big Termagant. That's maybe my expectations have grown too low after all those years, but it's not a big Termagant, which
Yeah.
is awesome for me. I like the wings. I do like the face mainly because it's unusual. It's creepy. It's unsettling. I don't like the lower tentacle limbs because,
Yeah.
well, they're not well designed. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. I have the idea that, of course, it's going to be creepy if the parasite is going to grab its victim and wrap its tentacles around to just implant its horrific attack.
Yeah.
But the tentacles don't look like this. They're just not creepy enough. And all the noodle limbs, I've never been a fan of the how are they called again?
Lash whips or no?
No, the variant of the zoanthrope.
Oh,
Venomthrope.
Tox
It's the Venomthrope.
Venomthrope. Yes.
Yes, I've actually been involved when the codex was written back then, and I was pretty critical of Robin Crodis' ideas back then because I never thought the design was very clever. Because it just looks like many noodles floating around, like not creepy. And
Spaghetti monster.
yes,
That's what I was gonna say.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
And the parasite has just two large noodles floating around, which is not good enough for me. But the rest of the design just flies with me. It's very light, it's very slim, which is, I think, in this kind of design new. I like the scythe limbs because they're also very slim and more insectoid than what we're used to,
Yeah.
which is something new. And yeah, I'm a big fan of the face.
Cool.
Mainly because it's different, it's more alien-like, it has no eyes. I mean, Just Goodwin was always laughing about me asking for more Tyranids with no eyes.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
he was always like, yeah, I know. Same with Phil Kelly, because I was always not very happy with the not scary Termagant face in all those knits.
Yeah.
And it's more scary, it's more creepy.
Okay, so
it's good enough for me.
Are you gonna buy one? And if so, how
Yes,
many?
I'm gonna buy a couple. I'm certainly gonna buy a couple because a couple of people said even if the main design is not good enough for you, there's certainly a ton of good conversion paths in there, and I agree.
So, and are you going to convert it? That's my other question. Are you going to build it as stock, or are you going to convert it?
I don't know yet because I'm not deep enough into it yet. But my feeling is I'm going to buy 3 or 4 kits and just see what's coming up.
Nice. Okay, that's exactly 3 minutes. Good work.
Thank you.
And you're free to go and sleep your sleep and get ready for your vacation now if you'd like to.
Yes, my non-queen has her birthday tomorrow, and we're going
happy
on
birthday!
vacation. Yes, thanks. So I have to get up early and do all the shit to make it a great day. But thanks, yeah.
Great. All right, thanks so much, man.
Thank you. I'm
Okay,
gonna stay around for
bye.
a couple of minutes and then
sure.
be off.
All right. Great. Thanks for giving us your thoughts.
Thank you so
Flynn,
much.
where should we go next?
So what I'm going to say is we're not going to get to the section of GW knows how to build a Hive Tyrant. We're not
We'll
going
have
to
to save
time
that
for
for next week.
Yeah,
Tune in next week for GW doesn't know how to build Tyranids.
And so we've got Evil Eye, which is Peter Hampson.
Yeah, Peter, you ready?
Next, you can unmute yourself.
Hooray! Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
But you're kind of echoey.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. Oh dear, this happens every time. My mic is terrible.
We can still hear you.
Okay. Is it good enough? Because
yeah, it's good enough. What part of
good enough.
So since it's a little bit echoey, what part of Rick Priestley's huge mansion are you coming to us from?
I'm coming from his immense kitchen. I say this because my actual kitchen is being worked on thanks to the flat complex, which is annoying because the bathroom was what needed working on, but that's another story. So yes, I'm in the kitchen's the wrong word for it. The biogruel dispensary vat, I suppose, is the correct word.
Fantastic, thank you. And so you've got 3 minutes. Tell us what you think of the Parasite of Mortrex. Go.
I like it. There's things I like about it and things I don't, but overall I think it's very, very good. The wings, I think, are excellent, with the exception of I wish they didn't have that little flap of skin along the leading edge. Like, I don't know where I put it now, but somewhere I had one of the winged Hive. Oh, there it is. On the winged Hive Tyrant wings, and they don't have that along the leading finger, which I think is a bit weird for the Parasite. The Talons, I'm a massive fan of. I think they look absolutely fantastic. As Bar Guy so rightfully put out, the very raptorial look with the 3 segments really, really works. The head I really like. It's very different from a lot of the other Tyranids things, but in the right way. It reminds me of the Hydrocast stuff, actually, which is something I'm very much a fan of, so that's good. I really like the tail. Really I like most of it. The only things I don't like are, as has been mentioned before, those tentacles. The tentacles, I think, would work on something else. Like, if I were to buy this, which I may, so spoil that question already, I would be tempted to clip them off and use them on some other model. But on the Parasite themselves, no, I just think they look too silly. I think they just look, particularly them being on the lower limbs and just sort of like flailing around a little bit, they kind of disrupt the flow of the model, and it's a shame because that aside, it's one of the nicest flying Tyranids that Games Workshop has made in bloody ages.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. The only other thing I will say in terms of like critiques is I kind of wish it had something a bit more obvious as to where its teeth are on the lower limbs, not lower limbs, sorry, the lower jaw. Just because at present I love the bat-like upper jaw, but it kind of looks like it would have a bit of difficulty actually biting onto anything with no lower jaw.
Yeah.
But
what was that?
That's my thoughts anyway. In terms of am I going to buy it? I hope so at some point. I will, of course, be removing the wing, replacing them with insect wings, because that's how I do. Not sure what I'm going to do for the other limbs. I suppose rules-wise, it'll have to have some representation of those daft tentacle things, but we'll see.
Nice. Okay, and you got in under 3 minutes. Good work.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
No, thank you.
All right, Flynn, where to next?
And last but not least, we have Hive Fleet Horror.
All right, Hive Fleet Horror. Actually, people might know Hive Fleet Horror from the Sexy Warhammer Ladies episode that we did of the Xenos Alchemist podcast. And I know you guys watched it because it's the only episode of the podcast people download. We've got James, Hive Fleet Horror. You hear us, James?
Come in.
Oh no! It sounds like something's gotten James. James, what part of Rick Priestley's expansive manse are you coming to us from?
I'm currently inside the chimney.
Uh-oh. Did Flynn refuse to let you in the front door? Trying to sneak in?
I am part Santa.
Did you see Peter anywhere? No, Samuel Joe anywhere?
Yeah, on the roof.
He's on the roof.
Get off the dang roof.
All right, yeah, so this is Hive Fleet. This is James's Hive Fleet Horror. For anyone who doesn't know, you can check out, he's on Instagram and Twitter. A lot of very pretty Tyranids. So James, what do you got to tell us about the Parasite?
I mean, it's okay. It's the first model we've had since, I looked it up, 2014 was the last time we had any new models, which was the Zoanthrope Venom Thrope kit and the Male Scepter. It was the Male Scepter and the, what's the other thing?
Sorry, Tyrannocyte. Tyrannocyte? Did that come out then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry, yeah, it was the Tyrannocyte, the Zoanthropes, and the Male Scepter. Those are the last models we had in 2014, and that was towards the end of 2014. So 8 years ago, we had new models. So that's a very long time ago.
Yeah. Okay,
I mean,
so...
but yeah, it's good to have new models. I mean, we're never going to get as many new models as the poster boys, the Space Marines, but...
Yeah.
We get what we're given. we've still got kits which are kicking about from when the plastic nids came out in, I don't know, 2001.
Yeah.
I mean, the Gant's still there, so it's always nice to have new models. Do I like it? To a degree. I like the vampiric look of it. It's I like the hood round the head, like sort of like
the collar kind of
flowing
thing.
cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
It's got like a weird face collar. It reminds me of always like frat boys who has their collar up all the time. You go,
Yeah.
hey, what's up with you? But they've got weird tentacle limbs and they want to inject you with parasites, which,
That's
to be honest, is
frat
a lot
boys.
like frat boys.
They're noodly arms.
Exactly. I think I would buy it,
Yeah.
but it needs some changes. It needs more tentacles in the face. It needs more
what would you
Dr.
convert?
Zoidberg-y vibes. Well, I like tentacle faces on a lot of things. On most of my characters have tentacle faces, because it's a cool look, and it makes me think of the whatever the other option for a male scepter. I can never remember the one which has the long lash whip arms.
Toxicrene.
Yeah, I like the little tiny flappy lash whips it's got at the bottom. They kind of remind me of the unnecessary long lash whips of the Toxicrene. They're just a bit pointless. If I buy it, I'm probably going to slap either small Gene Stealer hands on it, or on the lower limbs, or I don't know, maybe just some Scythe talons, just because I just don't like the look of the little flappy things at the bottom. But
okay,
it's an alright. I'd definitely buy it.
And that is 3 minutes. Good work. Awesome. Thanks, James.
I managed that whilst on 4 pints, so I'm all good.
Oh, perfect. Well, that just got you lubed up.
Yep.
All right, Flynn, do we have anyone else in the other than us who hasn't had a chance yet?
So Brett wasn't able to make it. Darth Bob isn't able to make it. Beardy Beard, I haven't seen him at all tonight.
Oh.
And Grim and Gribbly's not showing as well.
Well, yeah,
so
Grim said he wasn't going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
Well, so there's still Hydra and you.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you want to go, Hydra, or shall I?
Oh, you go.
Yeah. Everyone has said the same thing, I would say. The technical bits at the bottom, they just look out of place for me.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Just going to warn you. I'm going to give us 2 minutes because we're getting close to go time. So you've got 2 minutes, go.
I'll get the model. I'm not going to convert it. I've already done a conversion for a Parasite of Mortrex. So basically, this will just be for the museum. It's the bit I don't like is the lower bit of the wings and the tentacles that go to it. If I was going to get this and convert it, what I would do is I'd grab the one of these Scythe talon bits from either the harpy or the crone to put into there instead, to give it like a bit of a talony bit there instead of the long weird tentacles. The crest I like, as everyone mentions about the front bit, is a bit weird, but it works. It's not the same head as always. And as Peter said, I didn't realize it until he said it about the membrane for the wings. Yeah, that just looks a bit off.
It's weird. I didn't notice that either, and I'm wishing you hadn't said it because that's a little rough.
I can't unsee it now.
Damn it. Yep.
But okay, that is me done.
Great. Okay. Hydra.
I was excited for a new Tyranid to show up, and I thought, well, they learned the lesson. No eyes. We have been heard. But it's sadly the fact that it has its moments as a model.
Yeah.
I like its Scythe talons looking different to anything we've seen so far, but that sort of puts it off at the same time. I like the head at first glance, but on second it looks like Yeah, I feel like the longer I look at it, the more I dislike it.
Okay. Is
I'm
that all?
not. Yeah, I'm not going to buy it because I have no use for it.
Yeah.
It's yeah, and
But if I bought you one, would you convert it?
of course, I always live up to challenges like that.
And what would you do?
I would do probably something with its upper jaw, because what I like about the model is that they were brave enough to leave like the lower jaw away. So
Yeah.
there have been, I think they have been steps in the right direction with that model. For example, the radical change of the face.
Yes.
I think that's very good, and it makes me hope for creepy Tyranids in the future.
Yeah.
And it shows me that they're willing, that the design studio is sort of willing to leave the beaten path. And I would change its pose, because I think it has the wings make it look like it's having a coat.
Yes.
Of course, this all emphasizes this vampiric Count Dracula theme it has.
Yeah.
Those uphold things, but I would love to see it like swooping down,
Okay.
and that would
Nice.
have more a radical pose. And I think I would try to show how the mouth works, how the mouth weapon works, like something
Okay.
shooting from it.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. That's pretty much 2 minutes. Good man.
Yay!
All right. I guess I have to go. I made notes. First impression, when I saw it, damn, that looks different. I love the wings, the back of the head carapace, so like the more warrior looking part. I love the triple jointed forelimbs, the mantis style talons, and I like the pose. I think it's a good pose. I'm not loving the forward part of the head, the xenomorph knockoff thing. I can't remember who I was talking to. It might have been Ryan's Minis or someone, but we said that it looks kind of like, or maybe it was Box, the kind of like stuff that people do in 3D sculpting when they're not really sure what to do in terms of a texture. They just kind of push it and pull it and extend it, and it didn't look great.
It was Box. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And then I don't love his noodly appendages. I think pretty much everyone on this has said that it's a little too spaghetti monster, the tentacles. I think Box mentioned that they're weirdly like thick, like far away from the body, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And when the end of those tentacles appeared on the rumor engine, people were like, that's Tyranids. And I think we said, like, if that's Tyranids, that's bad Tyranid design. So yeah, I'm not crazy about those. I love that they brought back the Parasite, though. I love that they gave us a Parasite. They could have given us so many like normal things, but like the Parasite's weird, and like it was long gone. It never had a model, so I love that they actually gave it a model. And I hope it means that there's going to be more one-off critters like this. And I am buying 3, and I'm definitely going to convert them.
Woohoo!
Yeah. And then what I wanted to do is I went back and I listened to our episodes that we did where we were forecasting about what this is. So I just wanted to do a score for all of us for our reference. So when we were looking at the video of this model, when we got those previews from Games Workshop, Flynn initially said that it was a Shrike. He thought it was a Shrike, but then he said
into a Shrike.
And then he said that he actually thinks it might be the Parasite of Mortrex and the Red Terror dual kit. Remember, this was when we didn't know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
Marco said he didn't know what he thought it was going to be. But he also said he hasn't given up hope of seeing a really cool Tyranid creature again. So Marco, is this a really cool Tyranid creature?
I think it is.
Good man.
I think it's new enough for me, and it's not as boring as all the other stuff we had a decade ago. I'm fine.
Nice. Simon said that he was predicting that thing we saw in the video would be a double box, 2 completely new kits. But he said, and I quote, "I don't see a Parasite of Mortrex. I'm expecting a Shrike and something else." He also said that he wanted mind slaves that infect an opponent to bring back fear. And he literally said the words, "Jones is acting strangely." So he got it indirectly. However, He also said that he has a gut feeling that there will be more than just one model, and I don't know that we're getting more than just one model right now.
This is the one question that I would have liked to discuss before I sign off. Does anyone have any hope of us getting any more than this single model for the whole codex?
Fuck no.
Oh, I'm
Are
sorry.
we? Is the codex public already?
It hasn't come out, but it's they previewed it with this, and they haven't previewed anything else. I don't think they're going to preview any other Tyranids for this release.
So predictions. When do you think they're gonna put this up for saying it's gonna go on pre-order or full release, whichever one?
So I know that I won't be buying this for anyone because it's not going to come out in March. Because if you look at it now, they're pre-ordering Nakmund or whatever, and that's going to come out next weekend.
Tomorrow. No, that's tomorrow.
The preview's tomorrow? Oh no, it comes out tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, it's tomorrow for the pre-order for that.
Oh, the pre-order.
So yeah, the pre-order's for tomorrow. So
okay, so that means that it'll be released on March 19th, and then we still haven't seen the Avatar. So I'm predicting that the Avatar is going to come out before the Tyranid Codex. So the earliest the Avatar could be on store shelves is March 26th, which would mean that the Tyranids are April.
Yeah, earliest April. The only thing I'm thinking is normally the coins they do for the Criminals coins relate to something that comes out that same month.
They've been kind of a mess though. They got kind of out of order, didn't they?
No, because they did only get out of order because of the Shadow Throne. The Shadow Throne came out, but the books for Adeptus Custodes and Jesus the Cultists got delayed. But they've always been in time with it. This month for March is a Necromunda coin, so I'm thinking Ash Wastes is going to be announced either on Sunday or
no. They haven't shown us anything. The way Games Workshop does is they preview stuff and then they release it.
Yeah,
we haven't had any releases that aren't previewed, right? So we haven't seen anything about Ash Wastes yet. They're not going to release it for months, I think.
Yeah, and also there is an Eldar coin, but the Eldar coin hasn't come out. So the Eldar coin could be for April now.
Oh.
And the reason why I know there's an Eldar coin is because someone's got an early thing and been trying to sell it on eBay.
Oh.
I think because of the Eldar coin not being out yet, that could be out for April, and that's when they're going to get the rest of the Eldar stuff out. So it could be then that comes out because obviously the Avatar's not out, and I think some of the other things haven't come out yet.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking there is.
I guess the jet bikes haven't come out. The Rangers haven't come out outside that box.
Yeah. So there is that potential.
Okay.
That it gets either announced.
Interesting.
This Sunday.
I mean, they were totally forced to reveal the Parasite this week. It just definitely wasn't something they wanted to do right now.
Well, they'd already shown the Codex though, so it was probably going to get shown soon.
Yes, I think so, but not this week. Don't we have any hope at all, even of the kill team we were hoping for?
No. Well, I think that if you think about Kill Team, they're doing Nakmund now, and when they released the whole Kill Team thing, they said they were going to be once a quarter. So we had the one with the Tau and the sisters in the fall, and then now we're having the one with the whatever pirates and Chaos now. So it will be 3 months until there's another box.
Okay.
So not now, but
so I'm gonna add one last thing.
I had more on my list. I was doing the tour of what we all predicted.
Yeah, but I think you're 5 minutes over, mate.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do it quick. Box bet £4.99 that this is not going to be a Shrike, so we owe Box £4.99. Protulit Tenebris said that it was going to be a dual kit of Shrikes and Parasite, so Protulit gets a shiny internet cookie. Hive Fleet Nidhogg said it was going to be a Parasite, shiny internet cookie. Storyboard Guy said something new and different, maybe a Flying Tyrant Guard, so Storyboard Guy got something new and different. Dicey June sketch, we shared the sketch that Dicey June did, and Marco said, makes me think that this is going to be an individual model and not a unit, so Marco got that right. I said that they were going to give us some other weirdness that we didn't ask for, but I hoped it would be cool weirdness, so I'd say this is some other weirdness we didn't ask for. Oh, I also said that the Tyranid Wave would be 1 to 2 kits with the Codex, and I predicted that it would be the new Gene Stealers and nothing else, so I was wrong on that. Flynn said this was going to be previewed at the Warhammer World Weekender, which happened last weekend. I don't think we got any previews.
There was no previews. I was completely wrong on that.
Yeah. Symbio said we're getting the thing from the preview and nothing else for the Tyranid launch, so I think Symbio's probably going to be right on that. Captain Timboli, it's bold to assume that NIDs are getting more than one kit, and Captain Timboli predicts an overpriced Winged Warrior character. So maybe this is going to be an overpriced Winged Warrior character. Maybe Captain Timboli nailed it.
Yep.
Okay. So now maybe we can wrap this as we're 8 minutes over. I want to thank everyone who joined us in that crazy ass Discord Hive Mind conference. I think it went better than I was worried it was going to go.
Yep.
Flynn, thank you for handling the back end and getting everyone up and going.
Phrasing.
And I hope that everyone enjoyed this episode. Thank you all in the chat. We weren't as on the chat this time, but thank you for all of your comments and your contributions. Diana did tell us to like, subscribe, and ring the bell before she signed off for the night. So please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I might bust out this Parasite thing and make it a separate thing for people who want to listen to it. Someone already said that Bargeist's rant at the very least is substance for a podcast episode, so I agree.
Absolutely.
I need to re-listen to that like 15 times.
Yeah, with a Wikipedia open beside you to look up all the different structures.
Very quotable. Very quotable.
And I'm glad we got Bargeist on now because I want to get Bargeist on again sometime because Bargeist is a limitless fount of cool Tyranid knowledge. So want to tap that. Also, there are certain special guests who are supposed to join us tonight, not in the Discord, so you didn't know anything about them, but they weren't able to make it, so we'll try to get them on maybe next week to share their feedback.
Just is finally coming, yeah? It's about
I'm not saying anything. You have to wait till next week to see who our special guests are. But they are, I promise you this, I'm not bullshitting you, it's going to be someone you're going to lose your mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Roberto! Time to come.
Let's call it though. This is awesome. James Milner. James Milner just suggested that we get Bargeist to do a rundown of the whole Tyranid range. I would pay to see that.
Absolutely.
Make it go.
Bargeist, if you're still here, let us know if you're down to do the David Attenborough. Let's fucking do Blue Planet, but for like Tyranids and David Attenborough Bargeist. It'll be amazing. I want to do it.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you guys for putting up with my bullshit. Week in, week out. Especially this week. Thank you.
It was amazing.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think it's only amazing because Symbio showed up with his like video montage. That was fantastic. God damn, you had an actual microphone. What the hell is that? Oh my god.
That just needs to be its own little section on its own.
Yeah. I should just make those as like previews for people to watch the stream because it'll make the stream look way more interesting than it actually is.
Yeah. Little clips and post those videos.
Oh man. All right, so many good ideas in the chat. Apparently we're doing a Bargeist minute every week on different models.
The Bargeist minute.
Yes.
Cheers to that.
So Marco, stay safe on your vacation, man.
I shall, and I will participate from Poland next week.
You are? Oh, cool. Okay, good to know.
Yes, looking forward to it. And I hope I'm going to have as much painted of the Cruci Prime as possible till then.
Wow. Well, good luck. I'm glad you learned your lesson from your last diving trip when you didn't take anything to paint.
Absolutely.
Another wise lesson from your wise Norn.
But you know what? On a ship, which is always swaying and moving, it's not a good place to paint.
No, probably not. Right. All right, James Milner, night. Bargeist, thanks for coming on. Captain Zimboli, good to see you. Jade Finch, thanks for being here. Who else we got up in the chat? Oh, that's not the chat.
Yo, Joe, thank you very much.
Peter Hampson, thank you. Dwarfinage, Diana. I see Flynnhammer. We already know that guy.
That guy
I
sucks.
see
But
David Nelson.
But Flynnhammer's shady, I tell
He is
you.
shady
Yeah.
guy. David Nelson, thank you for joining us. Box, of course, always. Thank you. Who the hell else is up in here?
Tactical D-bag. Hive Fleet Horror.
Tactical D-bag. Yes, Hive Fleet Horse. Setnom is here. Thank you, Setnom, for having joined us. Who else? I think that's maybe it. Okay, I'm seriously going to be late, and Nora's going to fricassee my butt, so I should probably go. But thank you all. Oh, Mama Negan was here. Apparently I won something.
Run.
I missed that. All right, I got to go.
Bye-bye.